It's Friday already?
First things first,
Yeah.
let's get good drunk.
Today is a day of saying, hey, yippee, hey, yippee.
This is Sparta!
Loud noises!
Ah yes. We made it, we finally made it, we have made it to the Friday episode. On tonight's episode, Big Drewski and Casper break down some of the premier matchups in college football this upcoming weekend. Spreads, over/unders, and of course your weekly pick-ins. Today's episode is sponsored by the Depot Printhouse, www.staycating.com, and True Tennessean Clothing Company. Make sure you like, subscribe, and leave the boys a review, because again, I can't stress this enough, but they have literally no clue what they are doing. Let's get on into today's show.
What up, everybody? I am your host, Big Drewski. Welcome to yet another episode of the Little Tangerine Show, baby. I got my co-host here with me.
Yes, sir, with the most.
He got lost in the music. He just couldn't handle
sorry,
it.
guys. I just had to get my head bob on.
I mean, it is pretty nice. Let me turn it up for a second.
All right, that's enough.
Okay, yeah, that's pretty embarrassing. All right, so welcome to episode 248 of the Little Tangerine Show. This is the 81st episode, I'm pretty sure. Man, that would have been a good spot for some fake claps and audience noise there. 81 episodes. Yes.
Oh, sorry, I'm slacking, man. I haven't used that thing in a long time. I'll see if I can be better about it tonight.
Now, didn't you reload a certain sound on there, if I'm not mistaken?
I tried. Do you want me to hit the button? I have no idea what's going to come.
I mean, I don't even. If my memory serves me correct. Yes.
Very quiet.
Woo! Oh yeah. Okay. That's. I mean, we need to start every show like that. I'm crunk now. I'm so crunk. I need a nap to wake back up and feel energized.
Hey, you think it's going to be Rocky Top on Kentucky Top this weekend?
Hey, listen.
That thing.
Our whiskey is better and our women have more teeth. Let's freaking do it. The battle of the beer barrel, baby.
Oh yeah.
You seen that circulating around?
I will take a beer barrel.
Everybody's wanting to bring the beer barrel back. I forgot when we retired it, but it's been a while since we've done the beer barrel.
It's only fair. I mean, it's too good thing these states are good for is drinking alcohol. So
yeah, I mean, it literally. I can't think of a more fitting thing for us to do to like make this, somewhat relevant. Welcome, Little Tangerine Show. If you have not already, please click like. I can't talk. Please click like. Please click subscribe. We would greatly appreciate it. We're halfway through the football season. Kind of sad. Me and Casper are slightly relieved because, I mean, it takes a lot to put this stuff on. Very exhausting, but
nah.
So, if you hadn't already listened to our last episode, or if you haven't seen it, I've figured out a way to get these posted to social media. I'm trying to drop these the day the podcast comes out. So if this works out, the Monday podcast episode is going to drop at 1 a.m. for my late shift people. And then I still haven't knocked out a time, but the video will post either at 8 o'clock, noon, 7 p.m. at night. I don't know.
Maybe run it like 12 for 2 hours and then run it at like 7 for 2 hours.
Maybe. I mean, I could probably schedule multiple.
I don't know. I have no idea.
But they are pre-recorded. So I think some people commented on the one today thinking it was live. Listen, we don't hate you. We're not there. It's
Listen,
pre-record these. So
it's for those of you that want to see Big Drewski's beautiful, beautiful face.
So all 6 of you that want to see that. So, now we use the sounds. Yeah, we're queued up for that one.
Sorry, buddy.
You better be glad I took some of my trolling sounds out of here, so help me.
You're
I
right.
would hit you with 3 office clips back to back, and you just have to take it.
You ready to fire me yet?
No, because literally no one else wants the job. Well, I don't know. There's probably some people that would.
Yeah, just nobody you know.
I
I did try to give it away today. I don't know if you heard that or not, but I did try to get a different co-host to start this week, but he just, I just can't. He won't go for it. I've tried like 100 times.
You talking about T Fitty?
Mm-hmm.
No, he's under the assumption that his time is valuable or of importance. He's like, oh no, man, I'm too busy. I gotta
If he
eat
quit
some-
going to the gym and hurting himself, I mean, he probably should spend some more time at church first of all.
I heard that's why he hurt his back. I don't know. I mean, it's neither here nor there. But he's like, no, man, I'm too busy. I gotta get my hair cut and eat some pizza rolls on the couch.
Oh, don't forget chocolate coconut cake. Got to eat that too.
That cake, let me tell you,
Sounded like delicious cake, didn't it?
when life gives you lemons, teams, women, they'll break your heart. Cars that should run correctly. But no matter what, there will always be chocolate cake there to break the fall.
Daggum right. Don't y'all
I think
amen.
the group we're all slowly starting to try to mature a little bit, drink a little less, maybe, pray a little more, not hang out with loose women or, we're all, well, me and you are married, but we're all kind of starting to figure things out.
It's been real. It's been a good year.
I really think though, at the end of this, we should shoot like a AA style, promotional video or something to show how far we've come. But
y'all need some volunteers. Little Tangerine Show would love to volunteer and help anybody with a problem. We're here for that.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to send in some weird videos, I'm pretty sure I can look real quick. Send us minute things that you're struggling with, and we will try to help. Let's see. Oh, for some reason, I still have the Little Tangerine Show blog page. That lasted a week. I need to go in there and allow you guys the opportunity to attach a file or whatever, but that way you guys can send us a video. I guess you could just comment on this or tag us in it. Like I tell you what, if you tag us in a video that says Little Tangerine Talk, tag the Little Tangerine Show and then put Little Tangerine Talk and give us something minute that you're struggling with. Returning the shopping cart to the corral.
Acceptable.
Yeah, whatever it is that,
because we're harsh. Well, I will not hold back. I'm just letting you know.
I mean, if you just cannot break the chains of going to Burger King despite it being trash, like whatever your minute issues are that you're dealing with and you want us to help, send us a video or don't, whatever. Either way,
Or even better, while we're on this, fan reactions to the football game. We are here for that.
Yes, we are. A lot of people wanted us to go basically live every week. That's just not going to happen. But a lot of people
week on Saturday.
Well, I mean, like us, the boys, like what we did last week when we were drunk. People seem to love that. I don't know.
Yeah, they're just laughing at me.
But yeah, so got a good show for you guys playing. We're going to talk about Tennessee is traveling to the Bluegrass State this weekend. I think we should be aware but confident. Casper, it's kind of like, for some reason he gets hung up on Kentucky every week or every year. Last year they were going to be like the second coming of, whatever. But yeah, so we're going to talk about that. But first, let's get into some news. Arch Manning maybe going to play. So old Mullet Man, who's no longer Mullet Man, got injured. So they are going to start their backup. But head coach Starkinson, I forgot how you pronounce it, Sarkeesian,
That's the one.
said that he said there's a good chance that we're going to finally get to see old Arch play. If you don't know who that is, Arch Manning is like the nephew of Peyton Manning. I think he's Cooper Manning's son, if I'm not mistaken.
He's a loser because they didn't go to Tennessee. So
Yeah, I mean, he's
Really
rocking the wrong orange.
yeah,
But yeah, might get to see Arch Manning. So
starting though, not starting.
not starting, but they might get to see him. I
And-
will definitely be watching to see if he does get in, just because I would like to see what he's got. I mean, he's rocking number 16, which is what Peyton wore in college. It's just the wrong orange.
Texas has BYU this week. They're favored by 1 million, so I'd say he's definitely going to make it on the field. They're only favored by 17.5. Game is at Texas, though. I mean, yeah, he'll make it in for sure. We'll see what he can do.
Yep, that's the man right there.
Mm.
That's the real number 16, old Peyton Manning. See, I don't sleep bad anymore because Peyton watches me while I sleep. He watches over me. Do what?
I got a question about the news.
Yes.
Did you hear that Fox now, is preparing their cameras so that they don't break when they show the most beautiful hands ever in an NFL game on Sunday when Will Levis, Mr. Mayonnaise Man, makes his start for the Tennessee Titans. Did you hear that they're having to like prep the cameras so they don't break because his hands are so beautiful?
I really wish you would have gave me some. I don't have a puke bucket nearby or nothing. I'm a Titans fan. It's been hard to watch over the years, but yes, you were telling me about that he might get the start. Tannehill's hurt right now. Malik
sucks.
And Malik, I mean,
He might be better than Will Levis, though, to be fair.
He might be better than Will Levis, that's for sure. But we're going to see what Levis has got. As long as, he's not going up against the SEC school, he might be able to break, 150 or something, or.
Hey, listen, I'm just saying his first coming was, his last trip to the state of Tennessee to start a football game. How'd that go for
him? Ironically enough, he did play for Kentucky. He threw for 98 yards, 3 picks, no touchdowns, but his hands looked great. They looked fantastic. God, man, I jinxed myself by talking crap about him all year. And then, of course, he had to go to the Titans, which broke my heart, along with a lot of other people. But, yeah, he, might get the start, I guess. We'll see what he's got. I mean, I don't wish bad on anybody. I just, I'm going to laugh if he doesn't do well, though, So I don't know. We'll see what he's got. Other news, I need to cue this one up on my phone, but apparently, no, this is with the Times. This is a touchy subject, just FYI. But apparently, Michigan State, in all of their infinite wisdom and glory, decided to, during the Michigan State game, decided to put up a picture of Adolf Hitler.
Oh, God, I don't want to talk about this. I'm out.
Which, if you're not a, historian, he was the leader of Germany there for a while, just
believed in genocide, committed the greatest genocide ever committed.
Yeah, mean, literally worst genocide in the history of man against the Jews. And really, I guess, he would have eventually tried to work his way around everybody else. But, yeah, so that in and of itself is pretty dumb. However, with everything going on right now, the wars in Israel, not only was it dumb, but it was completely tone deaf. And just not a good idea. I'm trying to see what they even. So what makes this weird? They put his face. Okay, so it was a trivia question. They put his face alongside this trivia question about his birthplace. So it was a trivia question about his birthplace, and they put his picture up on the Jumbotron there. But what made this even worse was basically like when people were like, "Bro, what are you thinking?" They're like, I mean, it's a third party that did this. We don't really know what
Mm.
you know."
Mm-hmm.
And Pat McAfee did it. He did a bit on it that was pretty hilarious. But it was basically just like, you know, so you're saying that you didn't audit this, you didn't check it. There's no final audit. Like, how do you go from that to having Hitler on your screen? And now keep in mind, this is the same Michigan State that had like a brawl in the locker room last year and all that stuff. And I mean, with the Michigan game, apparently just, you know, Michigan State just on the outside looking in appears to be a bit of a crap hole. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what else to tell you. But
This was why they were getting destroyed, by the way. Just for the record. Weren't they? They were
yes.
getting breaks beat off of them there.
Yeah, they were getting destroyed, but yeah, I don't, I don't know who thought that was a good idea. But Michigan State, I'm going to quote myself here and just say, "Do better, do better." I don't. They need to fire, like they need to fire like the president of the university and just work their way down. I don't know. I mean, literally, you had an assault in the locker room last year of the Michigan game. Now you're putting Hitler on your screen. It's just I don't. What is going on?
By the way, while we're talking about that on field thing, what about that flying tackle with the fight in the locker room? I mean, I think you're talking about lack of universal control.
Yeah, because that one dude took a
on it. I mean, I'm just
that
saying.
one dude took a cheap shot on JJ McCarthy at the end of the, like, what is going on in the state of Michigan? I mean, y'all are cheating, fighting, you know, putting pictures of like horrific people on. I mean, what are we doing in the state of Michigan? Like, please, Michigan people, reach out. Like, I don't know if it's like just something in the air up there or what, but
Probably that water from Flint.
could be, man. I don't.
Sorry, that might have been poor taste, but wow.
Could have been, but what's bad is there was nothing wrong with their system, and then their politicians decide to just go in and say, "Hey, you know what? You know a problem that doesn't need fixing? Our water. Let's see if we can." You know, and it made no sense. But any other bits of news or anything like that you want to cover?
Apparently our buddy T Fitty is looking at buying a $640,000 camper. I just found that out while we were doing the show. So, anyways, other than that, no, I really don't have anything. Hey, to hell with the Phillies. Go D-backs. That's what I'm talking about.
Did D-backs pull it out?
Phillies in 7 at Philly. All you fans can go home and cry in a river. Jesus. Good God. We got the Diamondbacks and the Rangers. So no signed Steelers and no Bryce Harper. So the World Series is back on.
Oh, yeah, baby. Take that, Philly. We'll keep your cheesesteaks, but your baseball team can go suck it. Other than that, we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to return. When we return, we're going to get on into this breakdown, baby. Don't go nowhere. Little Tangerine Show. All right, baby. Welcome back to the Little Tangerine Show. Again, if you have not already, click like, click subscribe. Henry, rolling, Gardner. Okay, so Tennessee versus Kentucky. This is a I'm going to say rivalry loosely. I think this game kind of means more to Kentucky than it does the Vols, at least when it comes to football.
Yeah.
I feel like that's fair to say. I learned that last year. I really honestly didn't understand that like this game was that big of a game to Kentucky fans, but it is a big game for them. This is one that, you know, you were definitely nervous about coming into last year. You thought it was a trap game. The only reason why I felt confident was because it was at Neyland. However, this year they're on the road, Kroger Field in Kentucky. Kentucky, they're trying to prove that they deserve to be in national contention in football, not basketball. The Vols are just trying to, keep the Fires to a minimum at this point and get out with, as many wins as they can. Vols going through a bit of a, I don't want to say identity crisis, but they're kind of going through a little bit of an identity crisis. Last year, it was air it out, and then throw the ball. This year, it's like 50-50 coming into this game. I mean, the Vols are averaging 220 through the air, and they're averaging 217 on the ground, right down the middle. They're 50-50. This team that the Vols have is we're actually going to focus on playing really good defense, especially on the defensive line. We're going to apply pressure. We're going to try to, catch you napping in the secondary. Just don't go in the middle because, that's where we struggle a little bit sometimes, with the exception of Beasley. Beasley's been killing it. So all that being said, this is a game that – this is kind of crazy to say, Casper, but this Tennessee-Kentucky game actually really matters. Kentucky Wildcats are 5-2 overall. They're 2-2 in conference play. That is dead even with the Tennessee Vols. So later on, we're going to discuss the possible SEC path that the Vols could take. I can't remember.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
We'll see what happens. But yeah, this game actually kind of matters this year. So the Vols coming into this game are favored. What's the stat line?
5-2, 5-2.
No,
we are favored by 3.5.
Matchup predictor on ESPN has us at 70.9% chance to win this game. This game is a night game at Kroger. Me and Casper said all year you cannot discount night games, especially in these SEC matchups. They usually swing major momentum in favor of the home team. Casper, can the Vols get a win on the road at Kentucky? As crazy as that sounds, given the history of this game.
Well, anyways, moving on to I mean, they can, yeah, they can. I think actually when you said identity crisis right off the top, I think that's very fair assessment. I think we're going to find out what the identity is at the end of this game and what happens. I think, if we come out looking bad on offense, you're going to see a different team than you've seen all year. And by that, I mean the people on the field, in my opinion. I think the key to this game is going to be, what does Joe Milton do? How does he respond to the tough loss last week after halftime? I feel like he said the right things this week. As far as, I take my responsibility and I didn't make these plays and all that. But he also made those kind of vague comments like some other people didn't do their job. If that was from a place of leadership as far as, hey, listen, we got to get better as a team, that's cool. But if that was like taking a shot, trying to cover yourself, I don't know. I'm a little nervous about that. But I think how Joe Milton plays in the first half and how many points we put up in the first half really determines how this game goes. And honestly, in my opinion, how the rest of the year goes for this team. So
this is it's a long rivalry.
Yeah.
These teams,
a lot of hate.
Yeah. Well, primarily from the Kentucky side, but these teams have met 118 times in total. Tennessee leads 82-26. They have tied 9 times. Last year, the Vols put up 44-6 against Kentucky. Again, that was at home. However, in the last, going back to 1981, so however many years that is, Kentucky has won 3 times. Out of those 3 times, however, that has been since 2011. That was their first win since 1980. Well, technically 4 times if you start in 1980. It's a rivalry that's primarily been dominated by Tennessee. It's a rivalry that Tennessee kind of expects to win. The fans expect to win. This Kentucky team is the best we've seen in a long time. They've got Devin Leary. Devin Leary's a decent game manager. he's done good at times, struggled at times, but there again, so is Joe Milton. For me, I think Tennessee's keys to win this game are, and I know I kind of talked about it last year, but last week, the defensive line has to get pressure on Devin Leary. If they can get pressure on Devin Leary, I think that there is a clear path to success. In Devin Leary's last 3 games, which was against Mizzou, UGA, and Florida, I think he did get hurt last week, possibly. Could be wrong. But he's put up 120 yards against Mizzou, 128, and then 69 yards against Florida. Maybe that was the game he got hurt in. I'm not sure. I think there was one he got banged up in. Might have been Florida. His best game this year was, I guess it's debatable, but it was against Akron, 315 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. So far, there's only been 2 games that he didn't throw an interception in. That was UGA and Florida. But to be honest with you, he didn't do a whole lot. But he is at 1,377 yards on the year, 14 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. I think if the Vols can get pressure on Devin Leary, if they can go up a score or two, make them throw it, keep pressure on him like they did against South Carolina, I think Tennessee's got a pretty good shot. To me, the biggest thing that that the Vols should be worried about is that Kentucky running game. Man, they got Ray Davis, who, man, he's been absolutely lights out at times. Now there have been times where he hadn't done much, but there's been some games, man, that he's absolutely tore it up in. Most notably was against Florida, who the Vols played. And if we'll remember correctly, the Gators ran all over us as well, but he put up 280 yards with 3 touchdowns. That's some big boy stats. However, against EKU, Akron, even UGA, he put up 70 yards or less, 72 yards or less. Put up 52 yards and 12 carries against EKU. So he struggled at times, but if he can get rolling and get the running game going for Kentucky, that may be problematic because, again, Florida ran all over the Vols. ETN, we just could not stop him. So if they ground and pound, they may or may not have to throw the ball in the air. But ideally, if we can get up a score or two, then keep pressure on their quarterback, I think that's Tennessee's path to success. And then, Casper, we've talked about it. Vols got to figure out a way to get 200 yards on the ground. I mean, when we do, we win ball games.
Correct. I agree with that. Back to what you're saying about the pressure, 100% a thing. I am curious to see what the defense looks like. Not sure about Haddon playing. I know that he's been a topic of discussion among Volunteer Nation this year, but I think we're better when he's on the field. I think definitely if we can get pressure on Leary, I think the picks will roll in. I think we're as good as anybody out there in the country at doing that. So he's clearly thrown 7. He's averaging 1 a game. We need at least 1, and then we need to make that a big-time play, and we got to do something behind it. But, yeah, I think if we can get the rushing game definitely going, I think getting right going is going to be kind of key. He had a little bit of a against Bama, right?
Yeah, he had a bit of an off week,
but so did
last week
because they pretty well shut down our run. So,
yeah,
he is probably going to be the key. Yeah, I agree. He had 11 carries for 22 yards last week.
The other thing,
that's tough. That is tough. But
the other thing too is, I know we talked about it last week, but special teams needs to kind of play a role in this game as well. Like, this is one of those games where in my opinion, the Vols have a clear path to success. Run the ball, get pressure on the quarterback, but this is one of those where you're gonna have to be attentive in all facets. You've got to be disciplined and paying attention on offense, on defense, and as well as special teams. In the past, the biggest problem with the Vols is like, especially against like Bama, they played phenomenal. but then there'll be like one little crack, something will happen, a drop pass here or there, or a fumble.
Yeah.
That they've got to be good in all areas in order to beat a team like. And Kentucky's going to come out jacked, dude, like Austin P did. They're gonna come out jacked. They want to. In their mind, Tennessee's always been a roadblock to win the East for them. They're going to come out and they're going to want revenge, redemption. They want to come in, kick us in the mouth, shut us up, and shut us down. So, this sounds bad. I've said this all year long, but honestly, if we can get our run game going like we have in the past, Joe Milton don't really have to throw the ball. But when he does, we got to catch it. So,
I mean, that's not. We're still gonna have to throw the ball. I kind of think, what you're saying about the special teams. I think the key to this game for Tennessee is don't let Kentucky get in this game. Don't let the crowd get in this game. That we talk about night games on the road, tough. It doesn't matter where you go. Personally, I think this stadium is going to be like 40-60. Like I think we might have 40% orange up there because this is the cheapest Tennessee ticket you can get this year. The stadiums are only 2.5 hours away from each other. We'll see what happens as far as that goes. But I think the key for Tennessee in this game is don't let them get out early. Don't let them get a bunch of big plays. Like you're talking about special teams, you can't give up any kick returns. You can't give up any long punt returns. You can't fumble the ball. Can't muff a punt. Those kind of things. Definitely just discipline and keep them clean. But
the running game, in my opinion, is going to be crucial. I don't have the stat directly in front of me, but I know when we put up 200 yards rushing, we usually win the ball game. The other thing is like time of possession, and we've got to try to keep the crowd out of it, man. I mean, whether that's lull them to sleep, make big plays, whatever you want to call it. And dude, we've talked about it all year, dude, but the play calling has got to be better. No shotgun and 4th and inches. None of the, the play calling has got to be better. I don't like picking apart or talking about my team, but whether that's Joe Milton's got to say, screw you, I'm not running that play and just call an audible at the line, or I don't know which way starts and goes, but they've got to make better play calls as well. But this is random too. You might want to like document this in the notes as well. I just thought of it. I meant to do this in the news section, but you can put it down next to the break or whatever. Don't matter. Have you seen where even our local news is still talking about the play calling, like the refereeing from last week's game?
Yeah.
Guys, like, just full disclaimer. Today is Friday when this episode is dropping. It's Friday. That was last week. It doesn't matter. Move on. I cannot stress enough how little this matters. Focusing on this does us nothing. They're not going to come back and give us the win. If anything, they're going to make some adjustments. The NCAA will maybe pass some rules or whatever. Say, hey, you can't be a real estate agent in Tuscaloosa and be the head, referee, whatever. But it does not matter. We have moved on. The world has moved. Nobody cares about what the referees were like. I know it sucks. It was part of the game, but spending all this time talking about it is just a complete and total waste of energy. It accomplishes nothing. It's going to get, maybe we'll get some rules changed. I would love to see, if a team's running hurry up and you just stand up and then drop down. I would love to see it where you got to sit out 2 plays or something, like some rule changes and stuff. But talking about the referees days after we lost accomplishes nothing. Move on. Get over it. It sucks, but it does no good. Thoughts?
Solid hard stance. I agree with you. I've heard way too many grown men complain about referees, and then they forget the fact that we had the ball twice in the red zone and didn't punch it in for touchdowns in the first quarter. So,
if we get tuds on those two,
this is a completely different game, and
it's 34-28.
The refs made bad calls. Refs make bad calls. Personally, mean, you know how I feel about this, and it really for me stems more from baseball. But look, they're out there; they're part of the game. I don't want to really see them go away. Obviously, I don't want to make terrible calls, but they make mistakes. You got to play with it. So,
I mean, the thing is, we had the same refs in the first half that we did in the second half. But I mean, we're days later, and it's on local news and art. Everybody, like, dude, it accomplishes it. It literally all you're doing is distracting from focusing on. This is how you lose the next game by not focusing on Kentucky because you're whining about something that happened last week. Like, I'm just as much of a fanatic as, me, Casper, T. Fitty, we're watching it. We seen it. What the hell?
Yeah.
Why is he getting called for defensive delay a game when he's clapping at his teammate? Like, but it does no good. All you're doing is distracting from Kentucky. Like, move on, focus. But
Do
that's
better next time. You lost by more than. I mean, do we really think refs made an 18-point difference in that football game? Because I don't. Personally. We might have could have covered the spread. Maybe they made that difference, but nobody cares.
Yeah. So I had to get that out. I meant to do that in the news, but I just remembered.
I was a fan of that. That was a good TED talk.
Drewski had a hard stance. Okay. I need to get an intro done for the hard stance part. But,
we'll worry about it. Rich people don't have addictions.
Rich people don't have addictions. It's true.
Yeah.
Energy drinks work better if you get a good night's sleep.
Yep.
The Vols are averaging a total of 438 yards coming into this game. Kentucky's averaging 351. The Vols are averaging, like I said, 220 through the air. Kentucky's averaging 196 through the air, so fairly. The only difference is, Devin Leary's had some 300-plus yard games and, whatever, but pretty even there. Rushing, however, the Vols are averaging 217 to Kentucky's 155. I really think running the ball is going to be crucial. Yes, we still got to throw the ball. We still got to be effective there. But again, if we can run the ball, get pressure on Devin Leary, and just contain old Ray Davis there, I think we got a shot. As far as yards allowed, Tennessee, they're only allowing 310. Kentucky is averaging 346. The Vols are allowing 201 yards per game. Kentucky's allowing 250. Sorry, that's through the air. So they're allowing a little bit more through the air. However, their run defense has been pretty good, 95 yards per game to Tennessee's 110. So on paper, these teams are pretty evenly matched. With all that,
to point out on the rush yards, okay, when we played Florida, Tennessee played Florida, we gave them 183 rushing yards. Remember, Etienne went off. Kentucky only gave them 69. Okay,
yes.
That is the difference. They're giving up less than 100 yards a game rushing. That's pretty solid. I mean, that's pretty solid.
Even though they're allowing more through the air, the Vols have struggled through the air. So, again, we got to get the run game going, got to get that popping, and, by God, if Milton passes it, our guys got to catch it. If Milton comes out and struggles, good chance we might see Nico at some point. Not sure. We'll see what happens. That's all still kind of up in the air. All of that to say, old Casperoni, who will win this game?
So I told you earlier, I apologize for the ice, guys. I told you earlier today that I was going to pick the Kentucky Wildcats.
You did.
I did tell you that. And I listened to a very interesting piece on Facebook talking about Nico and Joe Milton, and it angered me. And I started off this year with faith in Joe Milton. I think Joe Milton's going to bounce back. I think us losing to Alabama was reasonable. I think he played fine in that game. I think he's taken a lot of undue blame in this football game against Alabama, and I think that there's a lot of Joe Milton hate. So for Joe Milton, I'm going to trust he's going to come back, bring us back, get us a win. Give me Tennessee by 17.
Oh!
I'm gonna go Joe Milton for 300 yards. 4 touchdowns.
I've got Tennessee by 8. I just hope we have a better second half than first half. Like, give me a crappy first half and then let me be happy at the end. But I've got Tennessee by 8. Casper's got Tennessee by 17. Listen, dude, we've pissed some people off at times. Like, backing Joe Milton as hard as we have this year. I mean, dude, he's not giving us any there's been so much hate if he makes a little tiny mistake, and then zero support with, well, we still need to play Nico whenever he plays good. Like, I mean, dude, I agree we need to get Nico some reps wherever we can, but man, and until Joe Milton just completely craps in the middle of until he completely craps in the middle of the field, like, give the guy a shot. Like, let's support the guy. Like, we got plenty of Nico next year. So,
and I just want to say, he's had opportunities to crap in the floor, and he hasn't done it. If anything, the receivers are the ones crapping in the floor, dropping passes. I mean, that's my opinion. So yeah, I mean, give me the balls. Big.
Okay, well, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to go over the pick'ems, and then we're also going to talk about, the Vols' possible road to the SEC championship. So until we come back, don't go nowhere, baby. Listen to the Little Tangerine Show.